All right, guys. Well, welcome back, man. We're here again in the Lift Lounge, guys, and today we got a special guest. But before we get into all of that, man, we got some intros. As always, I'm your host, Phil.
I'm Ethan, guys.
I'm Xander.
I'm Ace. I'm a host now. I'm the new host.
Ace is taking over my job, y'all, but that's okay, man. He's definitely got the look for it.
Little announcement before we hop into the pod. dsups.com, 20% off. Go cop some stuff we got up here. Some supplements, some drinks.
20% off in the description, man.
20% off. Go cop some.
Definitely, man. So, all right. So we are here, and again, this is the Renewed podcast. We're here in Marietta, California. And we got a very special guest. And we told you, man, we said we're going to be bringing some guests in.
Yeah.
I don't know if people thought we were playing. If they thought we were just talking some smack. But no, we deliver, man. And so that's what we're talking about. And we got a very special guest today, Ace. Other than being an amazing host and taking over my job already, throwing the shade, but he's already doing a great job. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, how you work in the
pressure, huh?
Yeah, already, man. We're going
right off the bat.
going straight to you, bro. Give us a little bit about you.
Oh, man. Well, shit. I'm old now. I've been in the game filming for about 10 years, but I've been in the entertainment business since I was 11 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, I was a little youngster. But I didn't want to get into it. I was forced into it.
Oh. And in what avenue, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, my uncle, believe it or not, had a pro wrestling company. It was a lucha libre company.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah. So his name's Martin, and super popping in the scene. And I didn't like school. You know what I mean? I can say I didn't like it. It didn't catch my attention. And I got kicked out of the district. And my uncle's like, hey, man, come with me to, the summer. And I was like, all right, cool. And I was like, I don't really want to be in the wrestling scene because I thought it was kind of weird, right? But at the time, it was kind of cool. But, I went with him for a whole summer. I toured with him. We went, all up and down the coast. And at the end of the summer, he's like, hey, man, what do you want to do? And I was like, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I stayed doing it, and I trained, and I got my ass beat. Yeah. It was hard, you know what I mean? Nowadays, it's a lot simpler to break into the wrestling business compared to it was years ago. But we were sister station company with the company called UPW, which later on dropped a guy by the name of John Cena, if you guys are familiar with wrestling.
Wow. Sounds a little
Yeah,
familiar.
yeah. There was a company called Ultimate Pro Wrestling. The owner was named Rick Bassman. We would do the ring crew for, we would set the whole show up. And I was fucking 11 years old, 12 years old. John was a super cool guy, and he can actually rap. Before the shows, he would freestyle, and he had a lot of love for us. You know, we were known as the little luchadors because that's what we did. Right. But he was a cool-ass dude, man. Very nice, very humble. What you see on TV is really what you get.
Awesome.
Super nice guy, but that's how I broke into the business because I did that for years. I did stunt work. I got into photo shoots, video shoots, all kinds from that avenue.
Yeah.
I learned how to present myself in front of a radio station, but also we knew gimmicks. You know, we all had gimmicks, and we knew how to flip it on and flip it off because in entertainment you're supposed to do that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how I broke into it, and then no lie, man. You guys are young, but maybe you can relate, right? Mm-hmm. How old are you?
36.
So we're the same age, man. Girls Gone Wild was popping, right? You remember it?
Back in the
day,
late at
yeah,
night.
infomercials. They don't remember. They're like, what? They got
What's
it so
the
easy
infomercial?
nowadays. But back in the day, there was a show called Jerry Springer, and after Jerry Springer, these infomercials would pop up, and I'd be like, man, it'd be so cool partying with all these girls. I want to do that. You know what I'm saying? That's how I want to do, and I didn't know what to do, right? And I was a huge fan of hip hop. I loved underground hip hop.
We all freestyle.
Yeah, but dude, dude.
We all freestyle.
Oh shit! Now we got a freestyle. Now we got a
That's
crew.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, we got a group now.
That's how we met.
Oh really?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how me and him met.
No shit.
I produced for him.
Oh no shit.
And we started lifting, and that's kind of how we got
Dude,
here.
that's dope.
And
Yeah. So that's how I broke into music. Dude. All right. So YouTube wasn't popping at all, and I remember I was like, man, I want to do something. I just didn't know, right? Mm-hmm. We were on a music video shoot for WWE at the time. It was with Timbaland and the Hives. They had a song. And we set up the ring and everything. And I was just looking at the director, bro. And I was like, man, that guy has a lot of power. He hasn't even moved, and everyone brings him everything. And I was like, damn, that's cool. You know what I mean? Yeah. He'll say something to bring him his snacks. They bring him his food. And catering for a big production like that is some top-notch, more in steakhouse type. It was crazy.
No
so we were in the green room just eating everything, bro, because they were like, yeah, get whatever you want. All right, bet. But I remember I walked up to him, I was like, hey man, how do you do this? And
Right.
he looked at me. He was very humble, man. I wish I remember his name. And he was like, do what? And I was like, get in this. And he was like, well, do you like school? And I was like, no. He's like, oh, do you have money? And I was like, no. He was like, oh, well, just don't. And he was like, no, I'm just kidding. And I was like, damn, that really broke my
Forget it.
heart. You know what I mean? Nah, he's
Give
like,
up right there.
he's like, look, man, go home. Do you have a computer? And I was like, yeah. And at the time, everyone had a Dell, right? Those were the computers back in the day. And
Dude,
he's like,
you got a Dell.
dude, you got those. Yeah, that's what
commercials.
I had. And compact too. And so I went home and I looked up for my editing program. I had a Windows Movie Maker. Right?
Oh,
so I went on a movie
yeah.
and I started putting like pictures together and having like the barn door transitions and little stars. Bro, I thought I was dope. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I was like, yo, look, and I'm telling everybody, look at the star. And I was like, bro, game changer. You know what I mean?
There's more to just barn doors than unzipping your flies, Xander.
But I thought I was it, man. I thought I was Spielberg right then and there. You know what I mean?
I'm ready to make movies.
Yeah,
now.
and so wrestling, one thing that I got from wrestling at a young age was I learned about sponsorships and product placements, and my uncle would sell these shows to these big companies, and I'd make a percentage. So I learned how to write proper emails at the time and do what we call like an EPK. And there was like a packet we'd have to give people, like a presentation. So I learned how to write all those stuff, and I learned how to like go up to these. Bro, I was like 16 years old, and I had a Jarrito sponsorship.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like 16, 17. 17, I reached out to the Dodgers, and we did a show with the Dodgers. We did a show here at Lake Elsinore Storms. Like, I sold them these shows. Bro, I was selling these shows for $20K, $15K. Yeah.
At what age now again?
Yeah, dude, huh?
At what age?
Dude, I was like 16, 17.
Wow.
Bro, what?
Yeah, but then the way we would make more money is like on the ring and on the canvas, I would sell the skirts. Like the side of the rings, I would sell it for like restaurants in the area. Or the
Nice.
turnbuckles,
That's
or
genius.
but like everything had a price. Like if you wanted to be on our flyer, at the time was like $1,000. You can be on 1,000 flyers. If you want radio mentions, it'd be this much. If you want a wrestler theme after your restaurant, it would be this much. Wow. So like everything was about money, making it. Like my uncle's like, if they can see it, we can sell it.
You left no stone unturned
Nothing.
when it came to what was marketable
Dude,
and profitable.
if you go to Jarritos right now and you type them in, they have a wrestler. We did that. Like we did the
Check that out,
costume.
Jordan.
Yeah, if
Check
you
that
can
out.
find
Check
it,
that
we
out,
did the
guys.
costumes. We also did like the training for like Jack Black for Nacho Libre.
Oh,
Like
no
yeah, it was
way.
crazy. Yeah. Like
You trained
bro.
Nacho Libre.
Oh, so he Jack Black trained in LA with a guy named Tom Howard. But we did the casting for it. It was in what was it called? El Segundo.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, Raw Training Center at the time. But we were part of it. Like there I was, like this 16, 17-year-old little kid,
Wow.
just kind of getting thrown into it.
That's
and
incredible.
just kind of like listening to my uncle talk and going into these interviews and listening to him talk. And I was just like, man, this is kind of cool. But at the time, I didn't really understand it. Like I just didn't go to school.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I was in continuation school, I was in independent studies. So the teacher in the state agreed that they would write me off to my uncle. So he was now in charge of me.
Gotcha.
As long as I did my studies, like my packets, I was okay. But like Monday through Friday, like I would just go with my uncle and we would go and get sponsors and work. Like, bro, I learned how to weld. Learned how to like random stuff, bro. Like,
Right.
like I know how to upholster. I know how to make this couch,
Well, and
which
that-
is random.
Well, and that's the thing. If you're kind of doing it on your own, you have to know how to be a jack of all trades.
You
in a
have to.
sense, right? Because you're not
Yeah.
going to be able to rely on somebody
Yeah.
else if you're promoting yourself.
None.
And it sounds like you guys definitely had that hustling.
Yeah, oh, dude, my uncle, he was just about money, right? Like, and he was like, well, I like the money. I'll charge and I'll give you guys cash. So in a way, he kind of like child labored us, right?
Hey, bro, but in the Mexican community, we
That's
look at
what
that
we
as giving each
do.
other, help. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
I remember being a very young kid helping my dad with his lawn service.
Yeah.
He had a lawn route in our neighborhood, and while my friends were skateboarding home, hey, bro, come on, let's go hit the skateboard. I got a lawnmower. And, nah, man, I can't.
Yeah.
They'd be like, bro, I thought you lived down the street. I'm like, yeah, this ain't my house.
Yeah.
Oh, so your dad pays you? Nah.
Yeah.
I just gotta help.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
My dad just said I have to be here, so
Yeah.
but it builds character, man.
Dude, it does.
Because it makes you a
teaches-
hustler.
Yeah,
Look
that's
at you.
what I'm
You know what I'm saying?
You know, because then I learned how to. I learned how to hustle. So one of my jobs before I got to wrestle, we paid dues. There's a lot of things called paying dues. We would set up the rings. We would take down we were the first one there. We were the last ones to leave. I would be handled the merchant. I was terrible at math, right? I can't tell you like 3 times 3. I just couldn't do it. But I was quick with the cash. So I was in charge of the merch and I was like, all right, cool. this was like at the Grand Olympic Auditorium when it had wrestling, right? Now it's a church. But I was like, all right, this mask, it's $20. This mask is 15. Well, I'm going to put $5 on top of every mask, and I'm going to keep that $5. Because as long as my uncle gets his 20 and 15, he's solid, right? He don't care. So I was like, all right. So I did that. And I would sell the mask, and I would know what was the first mask, second. The main stars with, like, the Mexican guys, I'd make sure that I had their masks first, and I would go up to the stands, and the higher I would climb up those stands, the more I would charge, because they ain't gonna, bro, someone got to pay me for those steps. You know what I mean?
Every angle, brother.
Yeah, so I would go over there, sell masks, and I'd be like, well, they were like, how much? I'm like $25. But I'd still pop them up at 30 because I knew they would. I mean, come on, Latin community, we're not gonna pay full price.
Right.
They were like,
They're
"Look
gonna
at this
have
thing,
those.
go 25." All right, bet. And I'm already cashing out my $5, bro. And then like, every night, I was probably the highest paid at the time because I'd get my uncle his cut, wherever he charged, and I'd walk away with my cut. So I still collected my cash. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then I started being like a loan shark to a lot of the wrestlers too. They'd be like, "Hey, borrow $20." I have my little black book, and I'd be like, "Yeah, you owe me $20. You're gonna pay me on Friday, bro." And he's like, "Yeah, I got you." So Friday come and they pay me $25. So I just started
And
like,
if they didn't,
they didn't, you know, like, all right, babe, I'm gonna get you, but yeah, I'm gonna get you. But it all came from that, and then so back to the filming stuff, you know. I was like, dude, I was so interested in hip hop. I wanted to interview hip hop artists. So YouTube had just started, and I was like, all right, bet. And I talked to my uncle about this. I was like, yo, I want to do this like little media company where I interview hip hop dudes, put it on YouTube. And he's like, well, how are you going to make money? I go, well, I'm going to charge clothing brands to wear their stuff. Like, that's what I want to do. And he was like, oh, okay, cool. I'll loan you $2,000 to buy a camera, but you got to pay that back. So I wrote up a proposal like I would, and he gave me the $2,000, and I bought a Canon, and I was like, now what do I do? Like, damn, how do I get this?
You're just staring at the camera for a minute.
Bro, MySpace was cool at the time, right?
Oh, my.
So I did MySpace, and then I just started DMing all these smaller hip-hop groups in my area.
Okay, smart.
And they kind of got me in there, and I started interviewing them, and then I actually got in contact with, my biggest break was The Game has just dropped the documentary. Like, he was just getting ready to drop the documentary.
Okay.
And I had emailed them, and I got hit up by a guy by the name of G-Ride. And he hits me up, and he was like, hey, I need a street team in Orange County. And I was like, bet I'll do it. He's like, really? I go, yeah, I'll go. He's like, all right, pull up on us. And it was on Brazil and Wilmington, and I pulled up, and Game pulls up. And they gave me all this promo package, and he's like, yo. And I was like, oh, shit. Like, what's up? And like, I kind of didn't want to like pretend like I cared and shit. You know what I mean? You want to be cool too.
Yeah.
Like, hey, what's up, dude? Like, oh, you got an album out? That's cool. You know what I mean? I was like, but inside, like inside, I was like, oh, shit. You know, at that time we didn't have like pictures like the flip phones like we do now, obviously. So. And I went home and I just stormed Orange County with the documentary banners. And that was all me, like just grinding and stuff like that. So that was cool. And then I wanted to get into like my MySpace kind of was okay. But then I was like, bro, I should do nightclubs. Like, I got to get in nightclubs. Like, how do I do that? No nightclub at the time was allowing cameras in there. Because it was, you know, back in this day, when you partied, it was like very...
What
like
year was
low
this?
key. Bro, this was like 2005.
Oh,
2006. Like,
okay.
so, yeah.
Graduation year.
Like, yeah. So I graduated in 04.
Okay.
Yeah. So
05.
a little bit in like in that area. And the one nightclub promoter let me in. He's like, yeah, you can come and film my nightclub. And I was like, oh, bet. So then I put it up on YouTube, and like all the other little club promoters saw it, and they were like, hey, bro, can you come and film our nightclub?
Dude.
And I was like, yeah. Bro, I was like 17, just like 18, and I started filming nightclubs. Bro, dude, it was fucking ratchet, bro. Bro, it was wild. Because the minute these things come on, bro, at that time, they're like, you're somebody.
Right.
You're somebody, bro. Like,
and you step into that position that
Yeah.
you had always wanted to, that kind of director position.
Yeah. And
At
I
a
did
young
the
age.
interviews, right? And then that's how the Ace persona came, because my cousin gave it to me. And I would always be like, oh, girl, da-da-da-da. And they would get wild with it, bro.
Yeah.
Wild with it, bro. I have a giant shoebox full of tapes, and I'm like, if I should put this out now, I'd probably get canceled. But like, bro, they did some wild stuff, man.
Starting OnlyFans, bro.
Bro, dude, it was crazy. And so then my MySpace started popping. Like, I went from, like, at the time we had friends on MySpace, right? When, like,
Right.
10,000, 20,000.
Shouts out to Tom.
Yeah, Tom was
everyone's
OG.
friend. Yeah.
yeah. It was like 150,000 friends, and I was partying with, like, at the time there was a girl named Forbidden and Talia Tequila, the hot people at the time. I was in there just partying with them, wilding out. Yeah, it was crazy. And then I started doing a lot of hip hop stuff, and that was paying off because then I got in contact with Top Dog Entertainment. So it was like K Dot at the time. Well, Kendrick was K Dot at the time, J Rock and stuff like that. And then I interviewed them. It was Hot Dollar and a lot of West Coast artists. You know what I mean? DJ Ski and everybody. So Pitt, we all just started. Cypress Hill, Psycho Realm. It was crazy how we were just in there chilling like this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Second to none. Above, if you're into West Coast hip hop, Above the Law, Sugar Free, DJ Quick.
Sugar Free.
Yeah. So we were interviewing all these guys and filming all this nightclub. And bro, I was just 21 and wilding because the time alcohol was free and what comes with the nightclub was free. And
of course,
the women were free and everything was free. You know what I mean? But we would pull up to these nightclubs, bro, and like it would be like us and the crew. And I'd see girls in the line and be like, come on, just come with us.
Yeah.
Come. It was wild. We had our own table just like that, bro. They're like, we had a whole table like this, bro, and it was all free. What? And we were, I got to the point where like, bro, we're paying you to turn our club into a strip club. And I was like, bad. You gotta tell me,
I'm your guy.
You got it. Yeah, for sure. But then it stopped being so much about professional. You know, you get lost in the scene, man. You get lost in that scene.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then so I met my daughter's mom. She was a go-go dancer, model girl, and then I knocked her up. And I was like, damn, bro, I can't bring a baby into the world doing this because I don't know where I'm going to be at in 5 years because this is a crazy path.
Right.
So I just stopped doing everything. And then she was like, well, you got to make money. Like, what are you going to do? And I was like, damn. And I was like, why don't you start filming again? And I was like, nah, I don't want to do that because I knew myself, bro. Like, you put me in that scene again, I'm going to go wild out, bro. It is what it is. It's going to happen, you know.
I'm sure it was hard to kind of pull back from that, too. I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, when everything's free, you got these baddies on you.
You're 21 years old.
Bro,
I mean,
you're young, man.
Yeah.
I'm not
And you're
gonna say
him.
no.
You walk in somewhere
I was
and you're him.
Yeah, every
him.
nightclub I'd walk in, people knew me.
Right.
Then I wasn't wrestling anymore because I got hurt so much. And man, I was like, I turned down WWE contracts. I turned down Japan just because, like, you know, I was just like, nah, I don't want to do that. I want to do this.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it like comes back quick. Like when you get opportunities like that, you gotta jump on them. You know what I'm saying? You have to jump on them. And I kind of, didn't a lot of the time because, when you're young, you're very your ego kicks in. I'm the fucking man at the time. I don't want to do that. I want to keep partying, like screw wrestling.
Yeah.
So when I had my daughter, I was like, damn, bro, I don't want to do that because I already knew myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's that saying like, if you put them in a room full of hoes, bro, you don't put me in a room full of hoes. At the time, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So then my daughter's mom's like, why don't you start filming like fitness? Because we had a gym, and I was like, nah, like, fitness, what am I going to film? People working out? That's weird. She's like, you should. But I was really into this guy named Rich Piana. Huge, right? So then I followed him on IG, and then I was like, all right, Belle. I shot a bunch of emails, bro. Rich Piana was the first one to respond to my emails.
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude.
He called me. He actually texted me the next day.
And if you don't mind me asking, what time era was this?
He had just left Mutant.
Okay.
Like, he had just started his YouTube channel. It was barely, like, Rich in his prime, pre-prime Rich.
Okay.
So he texted me, and I had got him because I got him to sponsor one of our wrestling events we did at Long Beach. It's called Ink and Iron. It's a huge rockabilly festival. Okay. And he sponsored the with clothing.
Okay.
And he's like, hey, I'm in Orange County. Come by and pick up the clothing. And I was like, oh, who is this? Because he didn't say, hey, it's me, Rich Piana. It's just say, hey, come pick this up. And I'm like, damn, bro. All right, for sure. Send me the Addy. Like, bro, I don't even know who I'm texting. Yeah, I'll be there. And I'm like, bro, what the hell? And I'm like, cool. He's like, what sizes you want? And I told him the sizes. And she's like, all right, bet. And I'm like, damn, how do I tell him who is this? Like, how do I tell this guy who it is? Because I don't know who it is. Because, bro, I emailed so many people at the time. And I didn't expect Rich to respond to me. And he's like, then he tells me, and I pull up, and we pulled up in Anaheim. And at the time, he was dating a girl named Chanel. And he was like, my girl's sick. Come through. I'm in Anaheim. So I went, I picked up clothes, and I was like, oh, fuck, it's Rich Piana. Big bro, like big dude. And I'm like, oh, this motherfucker's big. Yeah. Like, hey, bro, thank you so much.
That's an understatement,
and he was like,
man.
hey, let me know how it goes if you need more. let me know. That's how we would talk, bro. He'd be like,
Out of breath.
let me know. And I was like, yeah, for sure. And I was like, oh, shit, bro, fangirling again.
Yeah.
And then we do the event, and then we're on IG one day, and IG had just released 15-second videos. Like, you were able to upload 15-second videos. And I saw his video, and it's him leaving, like, Mutant. And he posted a video, and I was like, oh, damn, bro, your video's kind of whack. I can edit that shit. And I had text him. I was like, hey, bro, I do video, I do this, da-da-da. He texted me back, come to my house. You know what I mean? I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Sends me the address, and I pull up to his crib, and it was like a big old mansion. Pulls up, he's like, hey, brother. And I was like, what's up? He's like, so you know how to do all this? I was like, yeah. And he's like, all right, show me. So I go on the computer, and I show him. He's like, all right, cool. Work for me.
Just like that?
Just like that. And I was like, all right,
Damn.
bet. And he's like, this is what I want. This is what, and he fall asleep. And I was like, oh, shit. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, this fool just died on me. Like, what do I do? And his girlfriend's like, don't worry, he's okay. It's okay. And I was like, do I tap him, bro?
Yeah.
Like, I ain't trying to give this dude CPR. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
He's this big boy.
Yeah.
And he was like, nah, bro, you're going to work for me. And I was like, all right, cool, bet. And he goes, wait. And he hands me cash. And I was like, oh, no worries. Not that it was like gas money and shit. It was like a little wad of cash. So at the time, I was hella broke, bro. Like hella broke. Barely being able to buy like diapers for my daughter. And I pulled up to the gas station, pulled out that wad of cash. And I counted it. And I was like, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800. It's like $1,500. I was like, why this fool just give me $1,500? Maybe he messed up. I don't know.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, I want to pay you a salary every single month. I want to pay you this. I want to pay you that. And I was like, bro, like, you don't know what this means to me right now. Like, I didn't tell him that. Bro, when you were like dead broke and diapers are expensive, dude, that was big. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So I was like, yeah, bro. And then I would randomly text him, like, yo, I got this idea. Why don't we do this? So if you go back, and Rich used to have a segment called Rich Piano's My 5 Cents. Like, it was like my 2 cents. So that was my idea, right? I was like, we got to do this. And then when it came to merchandise, 'cause remember, I come from a wrestling background where merchandise is everything.
Right.
And I was like, hey, I designed some T-shirts for you. And he was like, let me see. And I go, hey, bro, you're just going to Australia for the first time. So I put the Australian logo in the Love It, Kill It. And I was like, these are special editions, so you just go and sell them. He goes, oh, I love it. And then, like, he didn't even tell me he was going to use them. He just printed them. He had one for Germany, Australia, the States, and then, like, doesn't even tell me, bro.
yeah.
God.
Right?
So
and
he was like an action
no,
man.
he was. Rich was like this, bro. Rich was a money guy. He was like, let's run with it. And he texted me one day, and he's like, I'm gonna get my head tattooed. Meet me here at this tattoo shop, which is here in Marietta. And I was like, all right, bet. He shows up, and the first thing he says to me, he goes, hey, come here. And I was like, what's up? Again, he hands me a bunch of cash. And I'm like, what's this? He's like, from your T-shirts. I was like, oh, shit. I was like, nah, bro, that's a lot. He goes, I'm going to make more. Like, he already knew he was going to, like, 5 times his investment right then and there. So that grand he gave me, bro, he probably made $20,000, if not more.
Just like you said, how important it is to like jump on things.
Yeah.
Like all your ideas. He's like, nah, I'm not missing
No,
it out on
he
this. Like,
ran with it.
Yeah.
The dude was quick with it. Like, you give him an idea, he'd be like, yeah, let's do it. Like, he was, if you look at it, Rich was the first person to do like crazy vlogs. You know, when he got the bigger by the day,
Yeah.
he was the first dude to do that type of stuff. When he talked about gear openly, he was the first guy to do that type of
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
You know, he did the 375-pound dumbbell row with Big Boy, right? So I filmed that. I was like in Europa Valley, and he was the first person to do that type of stuff. But like, Rich was like, no lie, this bro was like, go.
Right.
Like, the conversations you had to have with Rich were, you got to get him in 2 seconds. And if he likes that idea, he's going to continue to talk about it. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, when we had talked about like him coming up with supplements and designing, and I was like, you know what's dope? He's like, what? I go, White Monsters. And he's like, oh yeah, I like that. So if you go look at their supplements now, they're very similar. Like, the labeling is white because we had talked about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
But
He
it's just
was, like,
quick.
A big part, like, behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, dude, he was fine. Rich was very on top. If it made money, man, it made sense to the dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like, he would sit there and he told me, teach me how to edit just enough. And that was it. And he started editing his own videos. You know what I'm saying? Because Rich he opened a lot of doors for me in the fitness industry. Like, I went to my first expo. He had told me, he's like, come, we're going to the expo. And I was like, fitness expo? That's weird, dude. Are you gonna a bunch of people are gonna work out? You're gonna film it? Like, I never been to one, and I was like, all right, I guess I'll go, bro. And his line was like 6 hours for people to meet him. It was crazy. My first expo ever, and I walk in there and I'm just like stunned because I was helping them set up massive banner. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then the line was just ridiculous. Everybody in 5%.
Wow.
5% hats, fucking tank tops, big dudes. And then like that's when I met like Big Boy and my boy Casey. And they weren't as popping as they were now.
Are you talking about Big Boy Strength Cartel?
Yeah, that's how I met
Strength
Big,
Cartel,
you know?
shouts out to Strength
And he's
Cartel.
one of my closest friends now. He's hella cool. But that's how I met him. Like, I'm very, like, opportunist. Like, all right, I'm going to jump into it.
You
But
have to
I'm going to get to see who's around me because you never know, right?
Yeah.
All the connections.
Yeah. So I met my boy KC Mitchell. His name was One Leg Monster. He blew up his leg in overseas on tour.
Okay.
He had an RV and they ran over a what's it called, a
IED?
Yeah, an IED. So he
Wow.
lost his leg. One of my closest friends, this dude's like deadlifting 600-700 pounds on one prosthetic leg, bro. Yeah, it's crazy dude, right? And so him and I become really close friends. And he goes, hey, it's like, I want you to film for me. And I was like, all right, bet. And I started filming with him, and we started going around a lot. And that's when I met like dudes like Mike Rashid and CT Fletcher. And 'cause we would go out there and we just start filming. And
Yeah.
back in the day, like YouTube has changed, obviously. Back in the day, people just wanted to like collab with everybody. It was very, very cool.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yo, let's do a
it was
video.
so new.
It was so new. Yeah,
Right.
it was nice. Everyone was like on the same page.
What it could be was unlimited.
Yeah,
at the time,
yeah, it was
right?
like-
no restrictions.
No, and
YouTube
then-
used to be lit, everybody.
Oh,
Like,
dude, bro! And then we were able to use any kind of music on YouTube without getting flagged,
crazy, bro.
and like
Yes.
you can use anything, bro. At that time,
Dude, like every one of our videos gets flagged.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Drake playing in the background.
We're
You
not
can't.
in like a LA Fitness or like a
Yeah.
normal gym, so like they'll play Lil Baby, they'll play
Yeah.
Drake, and then it'll be like because we have road mics, so we'll just be talking. And
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that. It'll pick it up in the background.
yeah,
and
you
then
get flagged
flag
right
it.
away,
Yeah.
bro. Back then, you didn't have to worry about nothing,
I
man.
know, bro.
Dude,
I know.
it was a time. Like,
Yeah.
it was YouTube at that time was
Golden
dope.
like 20, like 12.
Dude, it was-
like 2013.
Yeah.
That was like the sweet spot
Yeah.
for YouTube.
Yeah, you didn't have to worry about like waking up in the morning and saying, "Oh, you've been flagged for yada 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 yada." No, it
Yeah.
was just,
Copyright,
bro, you were
so
cool to do anything.
Yes.
Like it was dope. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So at that time, I started filming my boy KC, and we started just going around and shooting everybody. And he comes up to me and he's like, "Yo, I want you to go with me to Ohio for the Arnold Classic in March." And I was like, "Bet." Right? And we had it all set up, and then I ended up getting busted.
Oh,
Yeah. So it was a Thursday. Long story short, I was falsely accused of like DV, which is domestic violence. My daughter's mom lied, but I got in trouble for it, right?
Yeah.
I got out that Thursday, bro. I got out Friday, and it was like 9:30 when I made bail. And like ICE comes in at 10, INS, because I was born in Mexico. And I was like, damn, bro, about to get deported. Like, damn, bro, it was crazy. And I had just made the okay to bail out. So I was like maybe like 20 minutes before my ass was back in Mexico. Bro, yeah, that was like,
Right there, bro.
bro, I was sweating and let me out. And you get out on Friday with like, bro, what just happened?
Yo, we're going to actually pause right
Yeah.
there real
Yeah.
quick on that, and we're
Yeah.
going to get right back to that right after this. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll be right back on that.
This episode is brought to you by bsubs.com. Use the promo code in the description for 20% off your next order.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Now, what we're talking about, Ace, why don't you go ahead and pick up right where you left off? You were talking about when you got picked up,
I just went to jail.
Yeah,
you know?
so break that down, bro.
Yeah, it was crazy. So yeah, I got busted for being falsely accused of DV, which is domestic violence. Now, keep this in mind: in the state of California, with a lot ever since OJ, right? The OJ stuff, they have to take somebody in.
Wow.
OJ, bro.
Yeah, my boy
Freaking
OJ did that.
Juice. Anyways.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I got taken in because she called or whatever. It's a whole other story. But yeah, dude, I got out Friday, and I remember turning on my phone, and I had like so many missed calls, text message, and I was just kind of like shocked with just the fuck just happened. You know what I mean? I'm just sitting there like, damn, bro, like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? Because when you're in jail, like, they read your paperwork. I was incarcerated I got busted for the DV, but one of the charges was child endangerment because my daughter was in the room during the argument.
Oh no.
So you can't go in there with that. You know what I'm saying?
can't have
you can't
anything,
have that.
nothing.
So when the officer tells me, he's like, hey, man, just don't say nothing. And I remember I go back in and I look at everybody. I go, fuck, there's some big motherfuckers in here. Like, I'll probably take this guy or this guy. But the rest, I don't know. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
bro.
saying?
Yeah.
So then you start stressing because you're like, oh, shit. Like, dude, they're going,
It's real.
this is real. And then I go make another phone call. And I was like, hey, what the hell's going on? They're like, you know, we're trying to find someone to bail you out, but your case is very high. We don't know. And I was like, man. I said, all right, cool. What needs to happen is going to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there and I hear my name, Mary, you made bail. And I was like, oof. Oh, shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, oof. All right, cool. Get out and, you know, kind of getting back to reality on things, like what just happened, you know? And it was a weekend and I couldn't go back to my house. I had just gotten in a fight with my brother-in-law, so I couldn't go to my sister's and dad's house. So my uncle was like, stay in my living room, just stay there for as long as you need. And I was like, all right, no clothes, bro. I didn't have nothing.
It was the same one.
Yeah. I had nothing, bro. I had what I was wearing that day, and that was it. And at the time, we had my attorney. His name was Robert Younger. He hops on my case, and he was a friend that we had through wrestling.
Okay.
But he knew me since I was little.
Yeah.
He goes, don't worry about paying me. I'm gonna take care of this for you.
Wow.
Wow.
Right? And because he's like, you're a good kid, man. I've known you forever. Like, this is ridiculous. He goes, go to Ohio. Because at the time, I had just gotten a job offer from Tiger Fitness, which is a big supplement brand by a guy named Mark Lobliner. He had just offered me a crazy deal to come out to Ohio, move out there, live out there, take my fam out there, like everything. So I was like, he's like, get on that plane and go. And I was like, all right. I called my boy KC, and I was like, hey, bro, this just happened, dog. Like, I don't know what to do. I got no money. I got $30 to my name, $37. He goes, don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. But you got to go on this trip.
Yeah.
I was like stressing out, bro. I was like, bro, I got no money. What you mean go?
Go.
What am I going to eat, bro? You know what I'm saying? And he was just like, don't worry. We'll figure it out.
Exactly.
So I asked my uncle, I was like, hey, bro, I need to borrow some clothes because my kid's mom got everything. But luckily, my uncle was able to get my camera equipment back.
Oh, okay.
Right? And my laptop. Like, I was able to get that. So I was like, that's all I had was the clothes on my back and my camera.
Right.
So I go to Ohio, and I remember I fly into Atlanta, Georgia. My attorney's blowing me up. He was like, hey, your felonies just got pushed down to misdemeanors. And I was like, oh, fuck. Yeah. I don't really know what that means at the time, but it sounds okay, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he's like,
yeah.
yeah, you're good. Call me when you land in Ohio. So I call him when I land in Ohio, and I'm like, bro, like, it's like your girl cheating on you, and you can't do nothing about it. That's how the plane ride felt. Like, oh, like, what about, you know what I'm saying? Like,
What's
dang,
going on
what's
now?
going
Yeah.
on? And then every minute felt like an hour, and every hour felt like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? One of
Lifetime,
those.
yeah.
So I land in Ohio, he calls me, he's like, hey, your case is completely dropped.
Yes.
Yeah, like done. You got nothing. And I was like, what happened? She's like, she no-showed. There's no evidence. The report says nothing. Like, bro, you're
No
good.
show is like the luckiest you could
Less-
ever
yeah.
get.
No. It was like, oh shit. So I was like, all right. Like, damn.
She showed up with
He
makeup
goes,
and like.
bro, he was like, you know, my attorney's like, go and have fun. Like, what you mean go and have fun, bro? And so we get to the Arnold, Ohio. We check into the hotel, and first thing I do to the desk is like, hey, do you guys serve breakfast? They're like, yeah, this time at this time. I was like, bet. Because I had no cash. So I got to wake up early and eat because I don't know how am I going to eat the rest of the day, right?
Got to get that continental.
Yeah,
in.
bro. And I felt weird asking my boy, like, give me about $10. Like, spot me my lunch. You know what I mean? Spot me this, you know?
Sure.
And we went for Primeval Labs, which is the company. And
That's
we go into
Primeval.
the Arnold, and I'm sitting down in the chair, and this guy comes up to me, and he's like, hey, man, you just going to sit there all day or you going to work? And I look at this dude, and I'm like, fuck is this guy? Like, what the fuck? And I was like, oh, my bad. Get up. And I told my boy Casey, I was like, hey, bro, who is that dude? He was like, oh, that's the owner of Prime. I was like, oh, shit, my bad. Like, oh, yeah, sorry, bro.
You're
Like,
mad
yeah,
dogging him the whole time.
you're cool. So we're out there, like, filming and stuff like that. And then I chopped bread with the owner of Prime and,
Nice.
like, on some, like, I don't know what you really do type of stuff, but, like, let's just be homies while we're hanging out here. So we walked around, and we were just talking, and then I got back, and I did the videos for KC, and he hits me up, and he was like, hey, man, I like your work. Maybe we should do something later on. I was like, cool.
Yeah.
So I ended up, you know, not taking the job in Ohio, obviously, because I had to come home and deal with all this stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, but when I landed, I had to take care of a TRO, which is a restraining order.
Okay.
Yeah, right. So now for you don't really need evidence for a TRO and let you know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you you can literally walk up to the office and be like, this person's threatening until a restraining order is granted by a judge. It has to
Right.
say judge said this.
The T is the temporary.
Yeah,
restraining order.
Yeah.
But there was never, so I fought it hard. So I went from like raising my daughter, she was 3 at the time, to then not being able to see her for like, man, starting in February till like May. Right? And, it messes with your head because I'm broke. I got no money. I'm sleeping on the floor. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to do in my life right now. I'm dealing with this court stuff, and I'm just like, shit, bro, this is it, man.
Right.
I just wanted to end it right then and there, right? I got really, really depressed, and I ended up like at Hooters one night. I was like, fuck it, bro, I'll just get really wasted. Play with some other narcotics for a little bit. And what happens tonight. But
Sure.
I just mentally at the time, I couldn't go forward. I just
Yeah.
couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't know what was going to happen.
And that's a hard thing,
Dude,
man. That's
it
a
was
hard.
hard.
That's I've had custody issues and,
Yeah.
and been going back and forth with all that, and luckily that's all said and
Yeah.
done. But that it's all encompassing. It takes over your entire world.
Yeah.
Mentally, the
It
stresses
messes
of
you
it.
up. You know what I'm
100%.
saying?
Yeah,
We're in
100%.
court where, a lot of people, California's a mother state, and I'm looked at as a bad guy no matter what.
Right.
Yeah.
No matter what. So I'm like, fuck it, whatever happens, happens. Fuck it. And I start partying with the Hooter girls right then and there. Some other stuff was involved them in there, you know what I mean? But I was ready, and I wrote a note out, and it was like my goodbyes. It was really, this person's in charge of my daughter. I'm signing my blah 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 blah. I wrote all that. Boom boom. I text my cousin, who's one of my best friends, and I text everybody. I said, bro, this is it. Turn off my phone, and I was like, boom. I see my uncle walk in with my pops. He goes, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, how you find me? I used my sister's Uber account to get me, so that's how they traced me. Yeah. But he took me back home, and he was just like, let it out, da 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 da. And I was just like, obviously you go through that motion. Yeah. I was like, shit, bro, I don't know what to do. You cry, you fight it, you question. My uncle literally told me, he's like, what are you gonna do? Like, imagine it, like, what are you gonna do when your daughter's 18 and she asks what happened to my pops?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you gonna do? I was like, damn, that hit. Like, I don't want her to ever grow up and have to question that. So I was like, all right, we're gonna put those gloves up and we're gonna fight.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, got no money, so we're gonna figure out how to make money. So
Yeah.
I had my camera and I had my laptop. Like, that's it. So then I got in contact with Mark Lobliner again. He goes, hey man, this guy wants you to shoot for him. He maybe offer you a job. And I was like, cool. And I ended up working for this company called HPN, who owns Ambrosia, which is like microsheet stuff like that. And I ended up working with them for a little bit, but bro, it was like a game changer because I went from not having bank accounts and not having the bank account. Like, hey, well, this is how we pay. It went like super, like, I used to get paid in cash.
Right.
Right? Like, right? Yeah. And he's like, nah, bro, you need a bank account. You need this. So I had to go set this up. And I remember I was like, hey, bro, let me front me some cash so I can get my apartment. And he was like, yeah, bro, I got you. So I got a little studio, you know what I mean? And things started picking up a little bit. But it was just like the grind. Like, it was hard because my job was to make content that would motivate people and inspire people.
And here
bro,
you
I'm
are.
depressed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sad. I don't know what to do with myself. But I have to put out this content that's going to get somebody to get up and go to the gym. I got to put out content that's going to help them buy a supplement, who's going to help them feel better. But bro, I'm dying inside.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm dying. I'm like put on a front. You got to put on that face. And when you clock into that job, it's just like smile to everybody. Ha, ha, ha. But inside, I was like, oh. I remember I just wanted to get home and cry a lot of the times, bro. My cousin would make fun of me because we call it the crying hour. I'd be like, hey, bro, I'm off work. He's like, you know, cry for a little bit? I go, yeah, I'm going to go cry.
Yeah.
Dude, I'd cry for an hour. I said, fuck it, I'm going to give myself an hour. Once that hour is done, we got to get back to the grind.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Give yourself a little bit of time.
Yeah, you have
Right
to.
back to it,
I think that's what people forget to do, bro. It's like, you got to go through the waves. You got to go through the motion.
Brother, and that's one of the things that we value so much too, is not only just the health aspect of lifting, right?
Right.
But your mental health as well.
Yeah.
And how that can kind of help get you through some of this
Yeah.
shit. Whether it's your job, whether it's the gym, something, you got to have that avenue.
Yeah.
And a lot of people may not have a Theo like yours that was
Right.
there to, you know, talk to and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and some primos that were able to help you out
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
But,
yeah.
you know, sometimes if you got that hour or a half hour, 15
Do
minutes,
it.
just get to yourself and do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Even that means yelling in that pillow just so that
Do
you
it.
can. Bro,
it was heavy, bro. And like we grew up in like Hispanic household where machismo is key. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be tough.
Kind of
That's-
hide that.
You gotta hide it.
hide the emotion.
Nah, but
Yeah.
you gotta be like that. That I'm a bad homie, but you can only play that for a certain part.
Right.
So then that's when I got into like myself and said, nah, I'm not going to hide it, dude. I'm hurting.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's tough. And going into this court battle that has lasted me a long time and, you know, hell and through all of this. And, you know, I always feel like it happened to me for a reason because it needed to happen to me.
Yeah.
Because I was so used to messing around and fucking around, not taking shit serious.
Absolutely.
The universe or God or whoever you believe in said, nah, homeboy, you're going to get your shit together now.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
You need to.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you got a choice. You either do something or you don't, man. And you can't be the victim. You know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you,
You can't
bro.
be a victim.
I think, and you know what, man, if we can touch on that a little bit, it seems like today's society is almost kind of geared where you are elevated a little bit in social media if you are that victimhood hierarchy. If you're,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
oppressed and then this and I'm this and I'm that, it seems like, oh, well, the poor me's and the pain is what's kind of popular right now, almost.
Right.
Which
The victim mindset.
yeah, and we're over here like we couldn't be more focused on, you know,
Yeah.
our goals and things like that. But there,
100%.
That's like the last thing we're thinking of is trying to make ourselves a victim.
Right.
no, we've all been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we're gonna
We've-
keep it 100, like we've all been in those positions.
Yeah.
Again, I've had court custody battles.
Yeah.
You know, I was a young musician in Los Angeles trying to make it, you know, at a time, and my, you know, baby being born and trying to make it out there, and you know what I'm saying? Like that
Right.
whole grind, the duality of the different worlds, trying to make it with your success, but also knowing that you got somebody back home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then courts getting involved, that's a stranger
Yeah.
dictating your life for the
Yo,
next 18
dude.
years.
Yeah.
Talk about scary.
Yeah.
Talk about crazy,
Yes.
because now it messes with your finances.
Oh, dude,
This
it's
judge
killer.
could be like, no, you're paying everything.
Yeah,
Another
yeah,
judge
yeah.
may go on one day and be like, hey, we're going to be reasonable about this.
Yeah.
You're at the mercy of the court at
Right.
that time.
Yeah.
And so that type of stress is, you can't
Right.
even measure it, brother.
Yeah.
So I've,
No, it was tough. You walk into the courtroom, automatically they looked at me and they said, nah. Nah. You know, they obviously didn't say it, but it felt like that.
You
They
feel
felt
the
like,
energy,
oh,
huh?
you feel it because family law is nasty. You walk into that courtroom and just you hear it's like you hear everybody's story. You hear whatever, and you're just like,
because you're sitting next, you're waiting your turn for you
Yeah.
to get called. So
Yeah.
you're hearing everybody's BS.
yeah.
Your Honor, he did this. Your Honor, she did this.
And it's a blame game.
Yeah.
That's all it is you did this, you did that. And I'm listening. My attorney goes, is that what you want to be at? And I was like, nah, bro, I want to go home. I don't want to do this. This is not me.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there and and you know, you kind of like, everything gets like, you get dizzy, you know, like in the movies where everything gets slow. And you're just like focused. And I start thinking like, dog, this is not my life, bro.
Yeah.
I don't want nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
I don't want nothing to do with this. And I didn't, you know, I tried to get out of that as much as I could. But sometimes you end up losing.
Absolutely.
You know, you end up losing, and it's all right. And I think people have this like stigma where, oh, you can't. Nah, bro, I took L's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I took a lot of
Yeah.
L's.
But
You
in
know what
order
I'm
to
saying?
get something that you've never achieved, you got to do things that you've
Right.
never done.
Yeah.
Right. So you got to step outside of that box a
Yeah.
little bit. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
didn't
have
sound
to.
like wanna touch on
You
that?
have to embrace the L's.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think to appreciate your wins, you have to
Right.
experience your losses.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it was, who was it? Chick Hearns, the guy that used to do. He was a commentator. He used to do. I think it was the Lakers, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Like the refrigerator doors closing, like the
Yeah.
Jello's jiggling. That dude. I think he was talking to somebody. It was a different coach way back in the day, and he said, because I think Chick Hearns used to be a coach as well, and he goes, losing hurts worse than winning feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when you're in those losses,
Yeah.
sometimes you gotta, you know, open your eyes and be like, hey man, not savor these moments, but remember it, because when it's greater later, you're gonna remember those hard times and you're gonna sit there and enjoy that beer just that much more.
Oh,
when you're
dude, for
kicking
sure.
it with the successful,
For
you know,
sure.
your successful
Yeah, yeah.
future.
I remember one time I was in my 05 Nissan Altima because my uncle let me borrow it.
What a-
And I was listening to Nipsey Hussle's Victory Lap album, and that's
Oh,
one of the
R.I.P.
albums that really kept
R.I.P.
me
the GOAT.
moving, you know.
Yeah.
And I said I'm not a religious dude or anything like that, but I believe in having faith.
Yeah.
Right? And I said, hey, you know what? Universe, God, whoever's listening, I don't need you to put money in front of me. I just need opportunities.
Yes.
Let me do the rest. I
Yes.
promise you. If you take care of me, you give me these opportunities, I'm gonna do the same. Like I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna do the same, but just give me that. Give me the options to just hustle, bro. Like that's it. And I got that opportunity, you know. Prime calls me one day. He says, "Hey man, we got this opportunity. We have Stephanie Sanso, who's a big Instagram girl, coming down from Australia. They're going out to Mark Bell's. We need someone to film it for like an entire week going into the Olympia. Would you be down?" And I was like, "Yeah, for sure." I didn't even ask about money. I just said, "Yeah, bro, I'm down." And I go and I do the trip, and I meet Mark Bell. I meet everybody and all kinds of stuff. But at that time, the other company kind of got jealous that I went on this trip, and they let me go.
Dang.
Right? And I kind of knew about it, but see, I didn't get upset.
Yeah.
Because I already felt it inside. Like, all right, I did what I did at this company.
Yeah.
I have to bounce.
Wow.
Right? But so when I knew that was happening, I accepted it. And I think that's a lot of problem with a lot of people's acceptance. You can
Yes.
understand something, but doesn't mean you're going to accept it. Right?
Yeah.
When I knew my termination was coming, I accepted it.
Yeah.
I already said, bro, I'm gone. I'm good. You know what I mean? It did what it did. It paid my bills for as long as it did, but it's time for me to go somewhere else.
On the next level.
Let's
right.
do it. Yeah, let's elevate, baby.
Yeah.
Because we can't stay on the same. You know what I mean?
no.
No. I got to grow.
Yeah.
And so when I told the owner from Prime, I was like, "Hey man, I think I just got let go." He looks at me and he goes, "Give me some time and see what we do." And I was like, "All right, bet." So now I went from getting like a monthly salary to no money again, you know? You know what I'm saying? Like,
That
oh
cycle
shit.
continued,
But
yeah.
it's good. I said, "Bro, let me hustle, baby." You know what I mean? Let me do what I got to do. So I called my boy Casey. I was like, "Hey, bro, let's start filming again." And we started working, and we met on the way. I would meet a lot of people, and I would walk around with my laptop, and we would film right away, and I'd go to the corner, and I'd edit something really, really fast. Boom, and I'd send it out. They were like, "Damn, bro, you already edited this?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah." They were like, "Oh, can I put it up?" "Yeah, put it up right now."
Right.
Okay, cool. So I was that guy
Wow.
that I would edit right there. Pop, 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 my backpack, you know, let's go eat. You guys go eat. I'm like, edit whatever it is because I wanted to get my work out there so quick.
Right.
You know, because my work ethic needed to speak for itself. I don't
Absolutely.
care. I don't care if another videographer is 10 times better than me.
Yeah.
You know
You're
what
not
I'm
gonna
saying?
outwork
I
me.
don't. You're not gonna outwork me. You know what I'm
100%.
saying? I'm not gonna let that happen.
100%.
I can't.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You can be dope. You can do that. Yeah, that's cool, bro.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna go to sleep till this is done. You can go to sleep, not me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's that mindset.
Yeah, you
bro. That's
can't.
that winner's mindset.
Yeah. But it came from losing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It came from all those L's.
You learn more from your losses than you,
You
do
have
your
to.
wins, right?
You have
when you
to.
win, you don't really learn
No.
much. When you lose, you learn
Yeah.
5, 6, 7 things.
You
like,
have
all right,
to, 'cause you
this
can't
is how I'm going to elevate.
You can't stay king of the hill forever.
No.
You know what I'm
Because
saying?
everyone's going to want a shot at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and so you're either going to be content with allowing those shots to take
Yeah.
place, or you go, "No, I'm going to go so far ahead of you." It's like what J. Cole said. He goes, "Well, I'm so far ahead of them. I'm lapping people. They think I'm behind them, but
Yeah.
I'm really in front of them."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like that. I really have to be
Yeah.
like that and hustle so much that you think you're ahead of me, bro, but I'm about to lap you.
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah. Isn't this that whole hard work beats talent comment thing
Yeah,
too? You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
Like, I'm not the best at what I do, but I'm gonna give you a run for your money, baby. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Whether it be euros, pounds, or pesos.
And when it
Some,
comes to
Said-
that, it's like,
right?
someone can take like a week to edit a video. You going?
I'm gonna do it the same day. No, give me the same day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so when I got back with Prime, it was just like Prime was so good to me. Like there's like a time where money was short, and I called him up. I was like, "Hey, bro, I'm really low on rent." He said, "Don't trip. I'm gonna send it to you." So
Wow.
he took care of me like that.
Yeah.
One time for LA Fit Expo in January, he goes, "Hey, Ace, check your PayPal," and he had paid me like my month's salary, and I was like, "All right, bet. I guess I got to be loyal to you now."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Yeah.
honestly, man, like I'm like really captivated by
Yeah.
your story, and it's like it kind of solidifies my mindset that like every gym that I've been to, it seems like the gym is full of broken people, or at one point in
Right.
their life, broken people, you know. And I
Yeah.
think that that's what kind of meshes and connects everyone is like whatever it's a breakup, you know,
Yeah.
family life, whatever it is. It's like the gym is here to not only help your physical health but also your mental health, and I know you touched on that a lot, but it's one thing in your day that you feel like you've done right. And,
Right.
and even if everything's going bad in your life, you doing that one thing for yourself and like, dang, like I did this for myself. It helps you in certain aspects that you can't really explain sometimes. Even just getting the endorphins firing.
Right.
If you're in a low place, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Just feeling
100%.
good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think your story is beautiful, man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
honestly.
It was. I mean, the gym for a lot of people is home.
Yeah.
You
Thank
know what I'm
you.
saying? And people may not understand, why do you go to the gym for 3, 4, 5 hours? Like, bro, I gotta go see my homies.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
You know what I'm saying? I gotta go see my people there. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You got that-
Go
they
for it.
understand me. You know, I go and talk to somebody, bro. We talking for 2-3 hours, and maybe I am what that person needed at that time.
Absolutely.
You know, they
There's
just need
been,
to.
like so many times where you go into the gym like feeling pretty shitty about yourself, you know, and then there'll be that one person start
Yeah.
the conversation, you know, just like get you going.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, or you feel shitty, and then that's the day that you make the most progress, or
100%.
you feel like you don't want to go, and you end up clicking with someone
Yeah.
that if you didn't go that day, that would have never happened, and then it trickles into something else.
Yeah.
And that's happened for all of us.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
this is
You know,
how
like-
this podcast happened.
Right.
From that,
Yeah,
Literally.
This is how
Yeah.
this podcast came to be.
Yeah, it's just a bunch. If everybody's sharing their energy and like putting it to use, you know what I mean? That's how
Yeah.
you're gonna light up a light bulb with that energy. That's what you guys
Absolutely.
did, and that's what you guys got to continue to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then surrounding ourselves with people like
Well,
you,
yeah,
though, brother.
just like people in general, because everybody got a beautiful story.
Yeah.
I
Like,
agree.
no matter how ugly a story is, bro, it's so,
their story.
beautiful.
It's their story.
Yeah, it's nice because you're like, damn, you went through that. That's crazy.
And a lot of times you don't think, you always kind of think with the perspective of the grass is always greener.
Yeah.
Like, man, you may be looking at Ace and think like, man, he's got, several thousands of followers and he's got, he has like such an amazing past and thing. But if you really don't know Ace personally, you might not know that he struggled and that the struggles continued and continued and continued.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no easy passes in life. And if you do get an easy pass, chances are you're not going to really savor those those good moments because you never really experienced the tough
Yes.
stuff.
And
Yes.
it's to touch on Ace's story, man. Like, what I love about your story is like, you had this like great thing going on. You were doing the nightclub.
Yeah.
You thought you had it like set, and then all of a sudden, this one thing happened in
Yeah.
your life that kind of turned everything
Yeah.
around. You were
Right.
like so successful at the age of 21, and then one thing happened
Bam.
that dropped you, and you built yourself
Yeah.
back up. to,
Rebuilt,
like,
yeah.
It built your character.
Right.
It built your whole entire.
And I think it was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? It has to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm a strong believer of it needing to happen at the time it happened because it's how I reacted to the thing. You know what I mean? Like, yeah at the time I could have gone left, but I chose to go this way.
Man, I'm
You know what I'm
saying?
saying? We
Everything
could have gave
like
up
right there.
100%, then we would have never met.
Yeah.
Yep.
100%.
That's
You gotta
it.
go
That's
through to get through.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
people at home are going to correlate this to their life and kind of just, I think it's going to let them be able to look at things
Yeah.
at a bigger picture and not be so like, worried about themselves and
Right.
their life and, this is going bad, this is going bad. It's something to compare to, and it's like, well, I know this is going bad, but some people have gone through worse. And that means I'm okay. And if someone's
Yeah.
in your exact position, it makes them not feel as alone. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, people have gone through this too. I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
Therefore, I'm amongst a group of people who have suffered and who have been depressed.
Yeah.
And he's elevated himself. Now it's my turn to
Right.
elevate
That's a
myself.
trip, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
When people tell you, oh, go sleep on it, that's what they mean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Go sleep. When you got problems, you want to quit, you want to give up, bro, go sleep on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me how you feel the next day. You may even forget.
Exactly.
That's it.
You
may
know what
have
I'm saying?
a whole completely
Yes.
different perspective, bro.
Like
Yes.
vent, I hate that. Sleep on it, my boy.
Absolutely.
Or lady, whatever it is.
Yes.
just
Right.
Sleep on it. See me in the morning.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
you're still feeling the way you're feeling,
That's-
let's figure it out
Right.
together. There's solutions to everything.
Never gotta go through anything alone.
Nah.
Man.
And I think a lot of the things that so many people are so scared to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, I want to be tough, or I want to. Nah, man.
That's
just
the
talk
ego.
about it. Yeah.
That's the ego.
Don't let that thing kill you, baby. You know what I'm saying? Come talk to somebody about it, or subliminally, oh, I'm
Yeah.
kind of sad. Like, what's wrong?
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Sometimes you got to let people vent a little bit. But
Exactly.
again, just sleep on it.
Yeah.
And be an open ear to someone. Someone might need it. Like if you're feeling all right, let someone like vent to you. Because that
Yeah.
could be
That's it.
that could be the thing that they needed that day.
Yeah, you never know. You know,
100%.
you're going to get somebody a smile.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
Yep. That conversation could totally shift the direction of their thoughts. Like how you wrote that whole letter and your uncle randomly walks in,
Right.
right? Like that to me, that's not by accident. Like
No,
that
no,
that
no.
had a direct
Yeah.
purpose.
Yep.
That whatever you believe,
Yeah.
I have my own beliefs, but whatever you believe, God, the universe, that had to have happened.
Right.
So you could be here today, still
100%.
elevating yourself.
Yeah.
And there's such a there's a beauty in that. How the universe is just everything just goes together how
Yeah.
it should
Kind of
be.
if you allow it to.
If
know,
you allow
sometimes
it
we-
Yeah.
to. If you allow it to.
It's just how we respond to things,
Right.
too. You know what I mean? Nip said is you know, how you respond is the reason why you exist. It's how you respond to things. And like,
R.I.P.
you know, and if I would have responded differently, who knows? But you always got to watch how you maneuver yourself, how you move.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I'm a
Absolutely.
big believer on how we present ourselves, how we move, how we react to things. You know, and I always tell everybody, like, I go back to like the Hulk, you know?
yeah.
And I, you know, everyone sees the Hulk as this giant, big monster, and he's reckless and da 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 da, and everyone thinks he's this giant and he's destructive, right? But there's a part in the movie where he says, like, you know, someone's like, he's more powerful when he's able to control it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You know the whole saying, like, I'd rather have a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. It's easy to bring a high energy person level than bringing a low energy person up. You know, like Jordan Peterson says, you should be fierce, you should be a warrior and learn how to control it. If you don't obtain that, it's going to be hard to teach that to someone, but it's not as hard to teach someone to bring it down.
Right. Keeping it 100 with everybody. You know what I'm saying? We'll stay leveled.
Well, with all that being said, excuse me. With all that being said, talking about the mental aspect of what we're doing, you know, health and wellness, all that stuff. We usually, as you guys know, go over an ism, right? We usually will be going over an ism, and I think we had like a whole darn a show of isms. And just for you, an ism is just like a little quote that we like to throw out there, something that resonates with us. But man, I'm telling you what, bro, the knowledge that we dropped right here, just by hearing Ace's story and getting his testimony.
We're definitely gonna need a part 2 at some time.
At some point. We'll bring the crew. I have a whole crew with me. Like my squad is, you know what I mean? You gotta be around good people.
Right.
Some of those are real good people.
You know, with that being said, the good people thing, give me one quick sec. We're going to take one more break before we actually end up and wrap everything up. So give us 1 sec. We'll be right back.
This episode is brought to you by bsubs.com. Use the promo code in the description for 20% off your next order.
All right, guys, and we are back while Xander's taking his drink and getting hydrated. You know what I'm saying? Gotta stay hydrated.
You gotta stay hydrated.
We're all about the health. You already know
we
it.
can't stay thirsty.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't trying to be thirsty. Nah, none of that. So we're back with Ace. And, you know, if we could just do a quick little recap. We've been doing story time and ism time like this entire time.
Yeah.
It's been crazy, man. Ace has just been dropping knowledge on his life. What an amazing story. But we got the likes of Ace hanging out with Martin Ford.
Everybody.
Right? Rich Piana. The Nacho Libres. Right? From way back in the day. Actual Nacho Libre, the movie is what I'm talking about.
That.
Doing promotional work with the Los Angeles Dodgers, like Elsinore Storm, the different types of club promotions that you were doing, the thousands of Instagram followers that he has gained, the photography work that he's done, Cypress Hill, K-Dot. I mean,
it was crazy.
Crazy, man. And so with all that being said, he's here with you right now with us, and we're breaking it down. We were talking about isms a little bit there, and we were kind of breaking down what the isms are, what we kind of do. And again, your story is just incredible. I feel like your whole life is a damn ism.
It's a journey.
Literally.
You know what I mean? It's a journey.
But one of the things that stuck out to me when we were just kind of talking during our break about the isms, what it is, brother, what you said was perfect. Can we go ahead and just get right to you on that ism? We can just call this the ism of the day right here, right now. Go ahead and do your thing. What were you saying?
Yeah, so I have this thing in like Spanish. We just say animal, which means like it's encouragement. You know, whatever it is that you're gonna do is like we also say like échale ganas, like you know what I'm saying. And anything that you gotta do, just fucking animal, baby. Like let's get it, animal. Good, bad, side. You know what I mean? Life is a lowrider, baby. Up, down, side to side. You know what I'm saying? We just gotta go animal.
That's an ism in itself.
Life is a lowrider.
Life's a lowrider, baby. You know, we gotta flip the switches and
That's a Mexican.
that's the Mexican.
Oh.
You gotta be proud Mexican too, you know.
Right.
But in anything in life, like animal, good, bad, fucking animal, baby. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta be. You gotta be okay with yourself in anything. You have to trust in yourself. I know it sounds crazy, but there's nobody else in this world who's going to hold you down than yourself. And you have to really believe in yourself. And it's okay to have those days where you're not feeling 100. Give it 40%. Fuck it, give it 30%.
Yeah.
Right.
That's just that day, bro. But come different the next day.
Right.
And come different the following day. And life is like this, man. It's a heartbeat. boom. You know what I mean? Imagine if our life was just steady. That's boring.
Right.
And give me the struggles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let me re-humble with myself every now and then, because sometimes we go a little this way.
Right.
You know, you have to accept it.
And-
You have to embrace it. And got to ride with it.
And it's almost like whittling wood, you know, like you
Yeah.
have to be able to take a look at this block and know what it's intended to be. Like I'm
Yeah.
going to carve a star out of this thing.
Yeah.
And I'm just chipping away at the parts I don't need, right? And
100%.
sometimes that's kind of like life. You're going to get some chips taken out of your block every once
Yeah.
in a while, but you never know. It could be shaping you to the person
100.
you're intended to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah, life is like a
Beautiful.
baseball game. Every inning's different. You know what I mean? You may strike out the first inning, bro, but we got 8 more.
Right?
You know what I mean? We got
That's
8
why we never
more.
leave early at the Dodger games, bro.
Ever, baby. But lately, come on, Dodgers. Come on. Come on, good fellas. We got this.
Ain't no Padres though.
Yeah,
You
no
know-
banners up on that stadium. Nice stadium. But,
Ain't got
you
no
know, that's a
matter.
whole other topic. But yeah, man, that's life, baby. Life is bring it. You know what I'm saying? Give me what you got, and I'm gonna respond. And you know, take care of yourself. Hang out with some good ass people.
That's it, man.
Elevate, evolve. You know what I mean? Can be very open minded to. You don't know everything, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Be willing to learn and educate yourself as much as you can, you know, every single day. You know, take a little bit from like you guys as a group, you know what I mean? Feed off of each other, feed off your guys' energy, because whatever you're not good at, he might be good.
Exactly.
And, you know,
Exactly.
like that, and just run with it, baby, and that's it. And lo que cae, you know what I'm saying? I always say, what happens, baby, and we just got to keep it 100 and on him all the time.
That's it, man.
That's it.
I love it.
Iron sharpens iron, a friend sharpens a friend.
Yep. That's what
There we go.
it says that in the Bible.
That's right, brother. Well, once again, guys, we thank you so much for joining us today. We had an amazing talk. We had a great time discussing this gentleman's life, his testimony, and kind of just going over. Yeah, we touched a little bit on the weightlifting stuff here, but most importantly, I think we're really diving into like that mental health aspect as well.
Yes.
And part of that is just being a hustler.
Gotta
You have no idea what that hustle and what that grind can actually do for you if you just are willing to put in a little bit of work. I think you might end up surprising yourself.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, I think we can go ahead and call that one a successful show. I'd like to
Absolutely.
just go ahead and give it off to Ethan right now to go and send us off. But again, Art, thank you, man. Can we just
thank
get a
you.
round of applause real quick?
Yeah,
All right,
let's go.
Hey,
bro.
to you guys,
This
to
man
you
right
guys,
here
to
on
you
the-
guys,
No,
to you
dropping
guys.
facts, dropping knowledge, a whole episode of ism, man. I
Yeah,
just love
you
it, brother.
guys.
Ethan, go ahead and send us out, bro.
Guys, one more time, D-Sups, 20% off. Go get you guys some gear, some supplements, all that stuff, 20% off. Link in the description. But as always, I hope you guys stay fit, stay safe, and we'll see you guys in the next pod.
Yeah.
Bye.